This is a 2026 GMC Sierra 2500 AT4X AEV edition. And this truck is about $130,000. Now, I'll explain why here in a second. I borrowed it from Jerry Seiner GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. This truck is unfortunately sold. If you would like to order one like this, be sure to ask for Frank. They can explain the process to you. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. Coastal Dune is the color. And this is a short listing of the standard features. Base price comes in at $85,200. Starting off the options is the diesel. AEV edition is $93.90. And everything that comes a part of that package. Cargo convenience package. Also black badge package, which is a big deal, honestly. Like, if you're gonna get a AEV, you might as well just go ahead and finish blacking out the truck. Fifth wheel prep package is right here. Coastal Dune is $495. Dual alternators, high idle switch, and destination is $27.95 with a total price of $110,090. Now, I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. You said this truck was $130,000 plus, but on the window sticker it says $110,000. Let's talk about that for a second. If you don't know, if you are building your truck from the factory, you can select an option that will allow you to drop ship the truck to AEV, and then you can accessorize it. So most of you guys know, if you're getting this truck, right, you do get the front and rear bumpers, the skid plates, you get the AEV Salto wheels, you get the stitching and all-weather mats on the interior, and yes, the truck looks great just like that. But if you want to take it to the next level, there's a few other options that you can actually get. So let's go ahead and start on the front end. New for 2026 is the brush guard. Now, they did unveil this, I believe, back in 2025, and I think to this day it looks absolutely amazing. It does really set off the front end of the truck, and I probably, who knows, might get one in the future. I don't know yet. It definitely does look good, but it's not a cheap option. It's like $2,000. You also see the light pods that come a part of this as an option too. And I think if you're gonna get the bumper, you might as well get the light pods too. These things are super bright. I've actually done some reviews on this with the Ram Prospector XLs. Also, you guys see that they do bolt it in to the bumper. This is boron steel. And this thing is really, really sturdy. All powder coated. And you guys see where it installs right here, so probably bolts into that frame. Now, you can do 2 light pods if you don't want the 4. Also, this one does have the COMEUP winch option too. So all this stuff was installed at the AEV factory, so that's nice. But yeah, I think this has a 12,500 pound capacity. You guys see right here, this has the relocate for the front camera because these light pods are probably going to cover it up. They also painted the hood, the roof, and the back of the tailgate on this truck too, so that was an option as well. This one does have the clearance kit, so if you want to run a taller tire, because this is a 37 by 13.5 BFGoodrich KO3, you can now space out this front and rear. You can do this yourself as well, so if you already have a truck, they have this available. I think this is like $6.99. But it's not easy to install. You gotta do a lot of cutting. And you guys see right here, it does push all this out to give you better clearance. And the mud flap. And look at the cuts that they did. They did a great job with the cuts. Now, these tires, as I said, 37 by 13.5, 18-inch Salto wheels. 3-peak rated, load range F, has 3,970 pounds of capacity at 80 PSI code. And yeah, I definitely think there's nothing wrong with going with a taller tire. They definitely do set off the truck for sure. Apart from that, there's nothing really different, you know, on the side of the truck here. What you see is what you get. This Coastal Dune does look good with the blackout for sure. I think that if I were getting this truck, I would definitely do the blackout that you saw here. I would probably not do these badges because they have the chrome, and I don't know if it looks that great on the front end of this truck, guys. But there's an option aftermarket. I don't know why GM loves chrome so much, where they'll give you a blackout with chrome. It's kind of interesting. And you guys see when you get the AEV edition, they do paint the door handles around the windows. You have the blackout, and look, they actually painted this right here on the truck as well. Now, most of you guys know the main reason why people love this truck is you get the Multimatic suspension, has a spool valve system in there, independent suspension. These trucks do come with a 2-inch lift, as they call it. And you'll see out back that painted tailgate too. What do you guys think about that? They did not add that badge in the rear for the GMC because of the chrome. I think they're gonna wait for the customer to see if they like that. And this is an extra accessory that they added. So you have the lights, and down below you'll see there's no spare tire. They also gave this truck the upgraded diff cover. So now you have, I believe that has a drain on it too. Yeah, right down there. You can see that drain down there. And you have a fill. And then you have a place to check the level for it too. You can see that 1.5-inch block. That's how they're able to get the back of this truck lifted up. You can see the Multimatics too a little bit better. They do have a reservoir in there too for extra capacity. And here's the side of that bumper. Yeah, this is definitely a really nice truck. Now, you guys are probably wondering, where is the spare tire? Spare tire is right there. So they have a few options. You can bolt this down into the bed, although I would probably bet that if you strap this tire on the sides and like pull it in some, you probably could get it to fit underneath the truck. But if you don't like this option here, they do have a tire holder that you can add for the back as well. So that way, if you just wanted to look a little bit cooler than that, you have that feature. Now, most people know, if you're looking at these trucks, they do have the kicker sound system. And that comes standard with these AT4X trucks. And let's see. Let me see if I can show you guys the roof really quickly. You guys pretty much saw it said American Expedition Vehicle. But yeah, overall, this is definitely a good option for someone who just wants a little different truck, right? You can get it all done up. The only thing missing on this truck here that is available, they have like caps you can do for the bed, but they also have a snorkel. And I will say the snorkel is probably hit or miss for some people, I would admit. Now, if you want to turn on the lights, they do have auxiliary switches for that. I highly recommend, if you are ordering your truck, even if you don't get an AT4X AEV edition, I still recommend you just add these because these are nice to have. So if you want to put it in accessory mode, we can now turn on aux 1 so you guys can see which setting that is for the lights. So it does turn on the outer light pods there, and ladies and gentlemen, they are bright. Now notice they did add the option for the grills here. This is really nice. I think they really have a nice look to them for sure. Now I do like that these do have these fins for the heat, because these lights, they're LED, they put out a lot of heat. Let's go ahead and turn on the center ones. It's probably going to be aux number 2. So aux number 2. Yep. They do have an amber light available. So if you want something a little different than this, that is an option too. Now the aux 3 is probably going to be for the lights out back. So let's go ahead and hit aux 3. And then you'll see you have the light pods in the rear. What do you guys think? This is a really nice truck, guys. I think that if you're looking for something custom, this is a little different from what everyone else has. This is a great option because this is a lot of money. I think most people won't be able to afford an additional 20 grand on top of this AT4X. But yeah, let me show you guys under the hood, and then I'll show you guys the payload capacity, because you do get a new sticker for these added upgrades, and you're gonna be shocked at what the number is. Now, if you want to open the hood, the brush guard does kind of create a small issue here with that. Obviously, me holding a camera is a little bit harder, but I want to show you on camera, basically. So you're going to have to use 2 hands now, because you can't push up underneath here to get the hood. So not a big deal, but just something to consider. Now, this is a part of the winch system, okay? This is a fuse box here. So if you want to pull this up, if you blow a fuse, I love how they did that. And look at all the blue weather stripping in there too. That is nice. And then you have to hear the click. Here is where you're going to plug into for the controller. Now, obviously this is on the wrong side, because most trucks have it on the driver's side, because some people like the wired controller. But that wired controller is really for using on the outside of the truck, unfortunately, guys. If you push this button here, hear the beeping, this is most likely for the wireless remote. So having this on will allow you to use that to, I guess, send a signal. And if you don't know, this truck comes standard with the gas engine, or this one option with this diesel has 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed transmission. And let's go ahead and go inside real quickly. I want to show you guys the side view one more time with the 37 by 13.5 straight. Looks so good. Now, as far as the interior goes, you guys know that this has the suede, has a real leather with the 16-way seats with massage function, 13.4-inch display, has these really cool animations for the screen, heated ventilated seats. This truck has everything. So that's pretty much all you're going to get in this video. I have a lot of other videos I've done. I actually own this truck too, so I have a ton of videos on AT4X. But here is the controller that's wired. So you would plug this in on that side, as you saw. Pretty easy, you can't mess it up. You can see like there's like a little notch, or like a little plastic trim, I guess. I don't know what you would call that. And it goes in a certain way. And then the controller just has out and in. And you guys know it has a free spool. Lastly, this is the controller that is wireless. So if you don't obviously want to run that across the engine bay over to this side, this is what you're going to use. Okay, and you just turn it on. It does need a battery as well. And that is pretty much it, guys. I think that having the truck all done up for you is really nice. I haven't seen this in a while. I saw it on the window sticker, and you guys see this has the lockbox. Super nice option. If I were building my truck from the factory again, I would probably do exactly what this guy did. He built this truck perfectly. I think that even seeing this truck on Coastal Dune with AEV, this is my first time actually seeing it in person. It looks super, super nice. Now let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. I'm a little shocked by this. So on this truck, you guys see, it shows the payload at 2,577 pounds. Now, when you get the upfit done by AEV, they give you a new sticker. They're showing the payload at 2,576 pounds. There's no way that can be right. And I'm only saying that because that brush guard, winch, taller tires, there's no way, even with the lights on the front and rear, all of these features are going to lower the payload. So I'm willing to bet you this truck probably has somewhere around 2,300 pounds of payload, give or take. It could be a little bit higher than that, but nothing came off of the truck. They only added on these accessories. And I'm willing to bet you this brush guard has to be at least 60 pounds maybe. And with the lights, it could be a little bit heavier. The winch is probably at least 100 pounds. Tires are always 20 pounds heavier when you're going taller and wider. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that's a really, really conservative number for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out Jerry Seiner here in South Jordan, Utah. One last thing I forgot to mention. If I were building my truck from the factory and I was gonna do this, I would probably add the camper package. That way I had more capacity on the front axle. Because again, all this extra weight, I mean, you're thinking, this bumper's about 50 pounds heavier than the factory one. This brush guard, figure you're gonna add more weight here. That winch, you're adding more weight there. So all this extra weight on the front end of the truck, it might make more sense just to increase that rating, because I think it goes from 5,600 pounds to 6,000 pounds. So yeah, just something to recommend. That's all. Later.